Now you can rewatch the biggest fight in MMA history. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Conor McGregor on ESPN+. 20 UFC Fight Night events will be exclusively available to ESPN Plus subscribers, which means 100+ total fights, including early prelims, and main card events, all in one place. Don't wait. Sign up for a free trial of ESPN Plus by clicking the link in the description.
Where does it leave Tony Ferguson? I mean, the guy was the interim champion. I know I've heard the stories. He didn't want the fight, but I mean, where does he fit now in the title picture, and what do you do with Tony Ferguson?
I don't know. I say all the time, when there's an opportunity, take it. And everybody who's sitting up here today is proof of that. You take the opportunities and you get the shot. You know, I don't know where this leaves Tony. Tony didn't want the fight. It's the fight I wanted. I mean, we even tried to make the fight with, with these two, and he didn't want it. You can't make anybody fight, man. If he doesn't want to fight, he doesn't want to fight.
Oh, yeah. Got my size back. I haven't been this heavy in a few weeks, and it feels good. Let's go. Feeling fully energized and still. Woo!
I saw some talk the other day. I think it was Eddie Alvarez, and I like Eddie. I have a great relationship with Eddie, but he was talking about how we give interim titles so you don't have to pay the guy so much, or some weird comment like that. When you win the interim title belt, you're looked at as a title holder. So when you go into a title fight, both guys share in the pay-per-view revenue. If you're a contender without the interim title, you don't. So there's nothing bad about holding an interim belt going into a title fight.
Eddie hasn't been right since I hit him with that last left hand either, so give him a break.
It gets more confusing, and that's the problem with these kind of fights when you make it for an interim title, is that it confuses the fans that much more. And I think that, I know the UFC in the past has said, listen, we don't want as many weight classes. We don't want to confuse fans. We want to keep it as simple as possible. Well, this isn't in line with that kind of thinking. This is only making things more convoluted and more difficult for fans to follow this sport. Again, I'm conflicted on this. So we'll see what happens, man. It's still a great fight. And for Holloway, it'd be cool to see him with two belts in two different divisions as well. So, yeah.
If, after I'm done with Tyron Woodley, if he plays his cards right, he has to beg me now. Because 5 times I've been offered that fight. I've accepted all 5. He's declined all 5. All you guys know that. He's declined it. So he has to beg me for that fight now.
People told me, you tell me if this is true or false, that you were offered to fight, not necessarily on this card, not this card necessarily, but that you were offered to fight at some point in the last year, several times, Kamaru Usman, and you turned it down. Is that true?
That's fake news. There was one time they offered him to fight was in Brooklyn when they made the Dillashaw versus Cejudo fight. And Hunter Campbell came at me and he was like, oh, you got to fight Snoozman for the right to fight Woodley 5 weeks later, March 2nd. I'm like, no, why would I do that? I have the interim belt. I'm number 1 ranked. I'm only fighting Woodley. You just offered me Woodley in January. Why do I have to go backwards and fight backwards just to earn my right to fight? And there's no way, you go into a fight. How am I going to fight 5 weeks later on a championship fight? That's unethical, Luke. You can't just do that to guys. There's no reasoning behind it. So that's the only time I turned down, because obviously you promised me Woodley. Why would I go backwards? I mean, Snoozman's an easy fight for me, but I'm not going to go backwards and fight for a tenth of the paycheck, Luke, when I was already promised Woodley. It makes no sense.
How much is the pay different with and without the belt?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It's like with the belt, you get pay-per-view points. You get big paychecks. Without the belt, they try and fuck you. They try and jerk you around and flex their dick and give you what they take. And if you don't take it, then, they move on. And supposedly the machine keeps going, or whatever they want to call it. So, it's a complete joke. If they don't want to pay me, release me. I'll go get paid. I guarantee it. Everybody knows my worth now. Everybody knows I'm the blockbuster draw at welterweight. No one cares about anybody else in this division but me.
Dana. Dana, what's up, bro? How you doing? How you doing? I just want an explanation why I'm not fighting for the belt this weekend.
Stop filming.
Come on, bro.
Stop filming.
I want an explanation, man.
Gambling. You too.
Good cameras, man. All right.
Everybody thinks I hate this kid. I don't hate this kid. You know, even after last night, I don't hate the kid. And last night wasn't as bad as it looked on video. He you know, it looked like it was whatever. But we were cool and we talked last night. You know, he's another perfect example. He was offered the fight. He didn't take the fight. And he can come up with a million excuses on why he didn't. He didn't take the fight. You were the interim champ. You were next in line for Tyron Woodley. We offered you the fight in Dallas or somewhere in Texas. He didn't take the fight, and that's that. Face to face, he gets it. He knows he didn't take the fight, so he didn't get the fight.